Hey, Trainer Susan here. Today we're going to be going through 5 different exercises that are going to be strengthening and building curves through our hips, but also burning fat. Off we go. Hey you guys, so the primary hip muscles that we're going to be working today are the glutes, the adductors, the hamstrings, and the hip flexors. So many of these exercises are going to focus on the glute maximus and medius because if you have weak glutes, well, that's going to really affect the rest of your body. So your best bet for avoiding any kind of hip pain and related injury is to perform hip exercises that emphasize the glutes and encourage hip abduction. So we're going to be doing that today. So a lot of stuff really focusing on kind of getting those hips to move and lots of different ranges of motion, which is always good. Okay, 5 different exercises. Think about 12 to 15 reps per exercise. I always tell people try to do at least 3 rounds of each exercise. All right, the first one we're going to start with is one that's just really going to kind of help warm up the entire area. We're going to start with a fire hydrant to donkey kick. So we're going to start on all 4s. We're going to keep a flat back. We're not at any time going to let that back slouch, and we're not going to hyperextend it. So flat tabletop back. We're just going to think about raising the hip out. We're going to give a little bit of a kick. We're going to come back to start, and then we're going to kick here. We're not going to raise the head. We're not going to arch the back. We're going to keep the back flat and just kick to where the glute is completely engaged. Okay, so raise, kick, lower, kick. Here, kick, lower, kick. So a little bit of a kick out. So this is just really going to help open the hip up and just get it warmed up. And it's really isolating each glute too. All right, so once you perform 12, obviously we would move to the opposite side and do the opposite side. All right, so we're kind of getting those hips opening up in all different directions. Okay, next we're just going to need a low box. Push my mat here. And with these, I would recommend going lower. This is not a good exercise to go super high. And you can use a light medicine ball, any kind of weight, just for a little bit more resistance. So this is going to be a leg sweep to a kicking lunge. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a light leg sweep, a little bit of inner thigh here. We're going to go out to a lunge and back here. So we're just kind of really thinking about those hips here. Sweep, kick, lunge. Sweep, kick out, and lunge. Really getting those legs to open up. We're really hitting a lot of the glutes, hamstrings, adductors, all the stuff that I had mentioned earlier. So 12 to 15 reps. Nice quiet landing. Also think about getting your backside really far out, kicking it out, head and chest are up, and explosively pushing back to start. Whew. Love those. Okay. Next we're going to go into a side plank leg raise. So we're going to just get on our mat. We're going to be on our elbow. We're just going to go right up into our side plank. We're going to think about tapping here, drawing a half circle, tapping behind us, letting that hip open without rotating the body too much. Still trying to keep the body in a straight line. So we're going to tap here, big circle, tapping back. Really getting into that little hip area there. Whew. Draw as big a circle as you can, and back to start. All right, 15, rotate to the opposite side. Okay, next we're just going to need some bands for around our ankles. A little bit more metabolic here. So we're just going to, however tight of a band you would like. We're going to go into a low stance jack. With this one, we're going to stay low. You're going to start with your feet together. Once your feet go out, you're going to reach the opposite hand to the opposite side to the outside of the foot, back to start. And we're going to keep a nice little pace. Really trying to reach for the outside of your foot. Whew, and those bands are really going to make that burn on the outside. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to grab a medicine ball. We're going to go into a med ball plank tap jumps. So what you're going to do is you're just going to get your hands onto the medicine ball. Think about balancing with your shoulders. You're going to jump your feet out, back in. You're going to bring them next to the ball and you're going to let go. So quick-wise, really think about sitting back low. That's the whole point of this. Try to keep your shoulders over your wrists and popping up as low as you can. Whew. So we're getting some really good motion through those hips with that one. So once you finish your 15 reps, 10-second break, go right into your next round. Whew. All right, you guys, we have some really good exercises here to not only activate, it's really good to get the hips open. We're doing some exercises that are going to strengthen, build some curves, but we're going to burn some fat with a lot of these metabolic exercises. Whew. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. They're posting all of our workouts daily, a lot of different exercises. If you're kind of stuck or like, what do I do next? Check it out, really good ideas. Thanks for joining me. We'll work out soon.